Namaskar. This is Varsha Patil Gulve. Welcome you all for this session 4 of BEE, stand for Basic of Electrical Engineering and Electronics. These are the learning outcomes. First, factors affecting the resistance. Second is resistivity. Here we are going to see a comparison between resistance and resistivity. Next one, Ohm's law, and the last is electrical energy calculation. So, in previous lecture we defined the resistance. Once again I repeat the definition for electrical resistance as the term electrical resistance may be defined as a property of a substance due to which it opposes the flow of current through it. Then the factors affecting the resistance are listed as length of the material, nature of the material, cross-sectional area of the material and temperature of the material. We will see one by one. First, nature of the material. The various material have different number of free electron available for producing current. For example, good conductors like silver, copper have large quantity of free electron due to which they possess high current. However, carbon and nichrome have a smaller number of free electron than those of copper and silver. Higher the number of free electron, lesser is the electrical resistance. Next, length of the material. The resistance of any conductor is directly proportional to its length. As the length of the material, longer the material have greater resistance or vice versa. Next, cross-sectional area of a material. The resistance of any conductor is inversely proportional to the area of cross section of that material. Means larger the area which offers less resistance. Next is temperature. The resistance of any conductor also depends upon the temperature. It increases with increase in the temperature and vice versa. Next, what is resistivity? Resistivity can be defined as the resistance of a meter cube of a wire. It is the property of material of which the wire is made. It has been experimentally that the resistance R of a wire is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to the area of cross section. That's why we can write mathematically as R directly proportional to L. Say equation 1. R inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Say 2. Then combining equation 1 and equation 2, we get R directly proportional to L and inversely proportional to L. So R is equal to proportionality constant called rho L by A. Therefore, rho can be written as rho is equal to R A by L. This is the formula for resistivity. Resistivity also called specific resistance of a material. A constant here is a specific resistance or resistivity of a material. The resistivity is always expressed by letter rho. If L is equal to 1 meter, L means length of a wire is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square, then the equation 3, that is rho equation, is equal to R. So resistivity is defined as the resistance of wire whose length is 1 meter and whose area of cross section is 1 meter square, and unit for the resistivity is ohm meter. It depends upon the nature of the material and temperature of the material. It is independent of dimension of the conductor. Here we are seeing the comparison between resistance of the material and resistivity, that is specific resistance of the material. Here there are two columns. We can see orientation to the flow of current as we well know about it, and the resistivity It is the resistance of a meter cube of wire. It is well defined one. Meter cube of wire. Unit for resistance is simply ohm, but in case of resistivity, it is ohm meter. It is corresponding to the area of cross section. Resistance depend upon the length and area of cross section of the wire. Resistivity does not depend upon length and area of cross section of the wire. That's the big difference. Now here we are going to see that statement for Ohm's law. We already known the Ohm's law gives the relationship between a different parameter of electrical circuit. Then also, to be more specified, the Ohm's law in a word of B.L. Thereja, who is a writer for Applied Electrical Engineering Volume 1, the reference book which we have to prefer for our course. So this statement belongs to the electrical engineering group. Statement says Ohm's law applies to electric conduction through a good conductor and may be stated as follows. The ratio of potential difference, nothing but voltage, between any 2 points on a conductor to a current flowing through them is constant, provided that temperature of a conductor does not change. In another word, mathematically, V by I is equal to constant, or we can write V by I is equal to R, where R is the resistance of a conductor between 2 points considered. Put it constant, that means resistance of the material kept constant. Current is directly proportional to the potential difference across the end of conductor. However, this linear relationship between V and I does not apply to all non-metallic conductor. See, as we say, if we put R constant, then V, that is voltage, is directly proportional to the current. So the relationship gives a linearity curve. But this is the limit. There is a limitation for Ohm's law. That limitation is it shows non-linear relationship in case of non-metallic conductor. For example, which are those non-metallic conductors? Like silicon carbide. The relation is given by V is equal to K I to the power M, where K and M are constant. M is less than unity. Unity means ones. It should be less than 1. It also does not apply to non-linear devices such as Zener diode and voltage regulator or tubes. Yes, it is true. Another definition or another statement for Ohm's law is at constant temperature, the current flow through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference, nothing but a voltage, across the two ends of a given conductor and inversely proportional to the resistance which is measured in ohm between the ends of the same conductor. So, mathematically we can write I directly proportional to the potential difference and inversely proportional to the R. So, I directly proportional to the voltage divided by ohm means unit for the resistance. In all practical problems of electrical calculation which we are going to see in our further sessions, it is assumed that the temperature rise is within limit. So we do not consider, or it should be kept in mind that it is all in the temperature rise is all in limit, within the limit, so that electrical properties such as insulations and conduction properties of the given material are not destroyed. Hence, Ohm's law is mathematically stated as V is equal to I into R, product of I into R, or R is equal to V by R, I is equal to V by R. We will see the relation between these two in upcoming slide. Here is Ohm's law, relation between three quantities. V is equal to I into R, Yes, it is true. Then I is equal to V by R. Simple mathematics. R is equal to V by I, where R stands for resistance of the circuit in ohms. V is a potential difference or applied voltage which measured in unit volt. I is a current having unit ampere. Now see a simple example for Ohm's law. See, let's take the example. An electrical iron carrying 2 ampere at 120 volt. Find resistance of the device. It is so simple, having the formula to find the resistance. R is equal to V by I. Here in this case, V is equal to 120 volt divided by I is equal to 2 ampere. No need to further convergence for unit. It is as simple as. So the answer is 60 ohm. Second example, the essential component of a toaster is an electrical element, a resistor that converts electrical energy to heat energy. Yes, it is true, we use in a daily purpose. How much current is drawn by a toaster with a resistance 12 ohm at 110 volt? Here given data we can collect as voltage is equal to 110 volt and resistance is 12 ohm. So the answer should be 9.167 ampere. Here we have to calculate a formula for I. I is equal to V by R. Now we are moving towards the application of power formula. In our last session we seen power, energy and work. Now basis on that knowledge we can calculate for given example. To find the power consumed by a resistor, the total current which is denoted by IT, I suffix T, total current has to be found first. See how we can calculate. It can as total current IT is equal to VA by RL. IT is equal to 10 volt by 10 ohm. How it can be? It is shown in circuit. It is VA, voltage is 10 volt and resistance value is 10 ohm. So IT is equal to 1 ampere for the circuit. The power used by a resistor can then be founded by P is equal to, we know the formula for power. Power is equal to total current IT into V into T. So P is equal to, put the value of IT which we are calculated as 1 ampere into voltage already given as 10 volt. So the power is 10 watt. Here we are going to see another example for power calculation. The unit of power in mechanical system is horsepower. We already know this factor. 1 horsepower is equal to 0.746 kilowatt. To convert horsepower to kilowatts, multiply horsepower times 0.746 kilowatt. We also know this one. Now by example, P is equal to horsepower into 0.746 kilowatt. P is equal to 50 horsepower multiplied by 0.746 kilowatt. So P should be 37.3 kilowatt. Therefore a 50 horsepower motor will consume 37.3 kilowatt of power. Here electrical energy. Example first, statement as like, a hand grinder in the workshop has a power rating of 800 watts. It runs for 20 minutes, time is 20 minutes and power is 800 watt. A session and is used 2 times a day. Calculate the daily electrical energy that is needed in kilowatt hour. First, whenever we attempt for the example, first read the example carefully, collect the given data one by one and then consider what we are going to calculate? What is the needed factor? Here we have to calculation for electrical energy. To get electrical energy, first we have to calculate length of a time on a day. So it uses the 2 times and 20 minutes. So the product becomes 40 minutes per day. Now convert it to hours. Can be converted 40 minutes by 60 minutes per hour. So it may be 0.66 hour. Now we get the data for electrical energy calculation as like electrical energy is equal to power, that is 800 watt, multiply by a kilo hour, that is 0.66 hour, that is time, P into T. So 52.80 watt hour. Now we have to get into kilowatt. So the answer getting here is 0.0528 kilowatt hour. Now we can do the electrical energy calculation for this example also. The water is 4.4 kilowatt a day. Here the power is given already. It is on for 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. If the EMF of a pump is 230 volt, what is the current used? Now in this example we have to calculate for current. We know a current calculation. First of all, we have to calculate for a time period. That's why electrical energy used in 1 hour, which is equals to 4.4 kilowatt a day divided by 2 hours a day. Calculated value should be 2.2 kilowatt. Can be rewrite as 2200 watt. Electrical energy formula, we already know that electrical energy can be calculated as EMF into current into time. So on the basis of this formula, current should be calculated as electrical energy divided by EMF. Therefore electrical energy which we have calculated here, 2200 divided by 230. Answer should be 9.56 amperes. Thank you.